Hi, this is Destiny. I am out into nature today. Oh, it is so beautiful, and I am enjoying myself. And I was sitting last night before going to bed. I was like, haven't made a video, talking about nature. And we have to get back out here. And that's where we can find ourselves. We can discover ourselves. And I know that works for me. Because when I'm out here, I'm at my greatest peace. I am at my best and better self. I am in tune with the universe, the whole entire universe, which is Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, the universe, God itself. So, I was sitting and thinking a few minutes ago, just before I say, let me get out here into nature and talk to my friends and my subscribers and all the viewers out there. I know a lot of times I've been noticing, I've been posting a lot of prayers, and these are prayers that is really, the Creator has placed into my heart. In such a time as this, in the situation now that is going on, He has been giving me a lot of prayers to comfort, to soothe, to quiet the minds of people. It's windy and it's blowing my hair away. And to quiet the minds of people, to bring back that hope, to bring back the peace, to bring back the calmness and the stillness of the whole man, the whole person, the whole entire body is what I'm saying. And I believe in everything that I'm saying, but some people take it to a whole another level when you start talking about the Bible, when you start speaking scriptures, and everybody talks about the, well, like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody, because like I said, you believe in what you believe, and that's all fine with me. But see, I'm on this path of spirituality. I've been in the Christian faith my entire life, all my entire life. I was raised in the Christian faith. Mommy and daddy both preachers. They were both pastors at different churches at one time. You know how preacher kids have to do. We have to be in the church every time the door open with mom and dad. We have to sing in the choir. We have to do whatever is needed. And I spent my entire life doing that. And like I said, as I got older and got on my own, I'm carrying their rituals, their beliefs, their faith, and things that was instilled in me. And because this is all I knew, I never looked beyond that. I never would searched out to find anything differently, because I was believed that the Christian faith was the only true faith that existed. Because they were told that all these other religions, I'm not going to call out no religions that I have not been in, but I was told it was cults, and they brainwashed people, and they were demonized and all this kind of stuff. And like I said, if you do not go out and do your own search, seek the divine higher power, which is the creator of this universe, then you will stay in ignorance. You will stay in other people's movies. You will stay in the plans that other people had planned out for your life, for you to stay at that place where you never grow to your higher self. Now, like I said, the Bible myself, like I said, the Bible I'm learning. Now, I have been taught this Bible all my life, and that's it. Both mom and daddy being preachers and pastors, and I myself, I was a minister, I was a preacher, and yes, I was a pastor, a youth pastor. And like I said, I have given my time over into that faith, because that was all I knew. And that was all that I ever taught. So you only can teach what you know, right? Exactly. You only can share with people things that you have experienced. And these were my experiences during that time for all those many years, people. And I'm not degrading anybody right now. So please, 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 please understand what I'm saying. But at some point in my life, I said maybe within the last 4 years, maybe 4 years, I had a spiritual awakening. And have anyone out there I'm speaking to, listening to the words that come out just in my mouth right now? Have you ever heard about a spiritual awakening? Have you heard about the spiritual ascension? Have you heard about the higher consciousness state of being, where you grow into your higher state of your higher consciousness, learning who you truly are? Because if you have not embarked upon that path, or you have not been called out by the creator, the divine creator of this universe, then you don't know or have experienced a spiritual awakening or the ascension to your greater and higher self. Because all we know is that third D level. That's the ego part of us. That's our subconsciousness. That's a part of us that has kept us in control, manipulation, kept us in lies, has given us a false identity, has told us our purpose in life, which was all false. And I'm not getting deep into that, because if you really want to know, you can do your own search. Go out there and do your own search. Search. Because the Bible tells us to get wisdom and to get knowledge and to get understanding. So you know how to get some knowledge and wisdom, and with all that will come the understanding. But you got to seek you first the kingdom of the divine creator, the kingdom, what they say, of God. And all the things that you're seeking will be added unto you. You will get the wisdom, you will get the knowledge, you'll get the revelation to these things. But with all that, you're going to get a understanding. So like I said, if you don't understand something, you shouldn't dismiss it, because I never heard of that. Well, I heard people talking about it, and then you start degrading what they believe. You start degrading what other people are understanding at their level, because your level is not where you are. That doesn't mean that you have all the truths. It doesn't mean because they are here talking something different that they have all the truths. But one thing we do have, people, listen. We all have our truths. Yes, we do. Everybody have their own truths. Within everything that has been spoken out into the world today, that has been spoken from different platforms across the world today, in churches and organizations, that has been spoken out here on these different social media platforms, guys, there's truth in everything that somebody has spoken, that has been speaking these things over and over again. There is some truth, because you may not get their truth. You can't say it's not true. He that the Son set free is free indeed. And he has given us the freedom to be and become our greater and higher self. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So, if you want to be free, then you got to break out of all this matrix system. You got to break out of the world system, all these different teaching systems that are teaching you against your greater and higher self. You are not your ego. Your ego is your lower self. That's your self-conscious state of being. That is who had programmed you all your entire life when you was in the womb of your mother, before you were even born. But what the creator of the universe says, he said, I've called you out of darkness into that marvelous light. Ooh, so what is that marvelous light? That darkness was your ego. You ever heard of the death of the ego? That ego that has given you, this false identity, has told you these false lies. We have been bamboozled. Our whole life has been a lie. Even beginning from our ancestors. Our ancestors, they've been put in slavery, and I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not getting on no black and white thing, that that black people were slaves. We have white slaves just as many. We have black slave masters as well as white slave masters. I'm not going to get off on that. But we were passed down from generation to generation. It's things that we only heard and we only were taught. And a lot of times back in slavery, they only could speak what the masters said. They were not supposed to be speaking any other thing. That's why they were not allowed to read. They were not allowed to have books around, because they didn't want them to learn and read to get the knowledge. Baby, people, listen. Knowledge is out there. It is powerful. But I'm telling you, until you break out of that slavery mentality, till you break out of away from that taskmaster, that slave master that has held you in lies and fears and believing that you are just a lower class being, then you're not going to ever reach your higher, greater self. Because the creator of this universe said, the kingdom, where is it? It's within us. Go, it's in the Bible. Like I said, I use my Bible. Yes, I use my Bible. I use my Bible all my life. Like I said, I read that Bible. I can't even count the number of times from Genesis all the way through till Revelation. I can't remember. I used to walk that Bible, talk that Bible, and I could quote almost every scripture in that Bible. And that's not giving me no kudos on the back, but that was what I was taught. That was how I learned. But I was awakened to a higher, greater being, my higher, greater self. I was awakened to the kingdom of God. I'm learning that it is in me. What that means then? That means that we call him God. It doesn't matter who you call him. He's within us. Everything you need, people, is already placed in you. But this is what he said. He said, I have predestined you before the foundation of the earth. That means before everything came into existence, which y'all know in Genesis, he placed everything first into the universe. He placed the stars, the sky, the moon, the lights, all those different things and animals before he placed man. Man was his last part of his creation. That was day 6. And he created man. But how did he create man? He created man in his likeness and in his image. People, listen. How did he create man in his likeness and his image? That means he had to go within himself and he pulled out man. He blew his breath into man and man became a living soul. That means that soul, that means that is your higher consciousness state of being. That is not your subconscious state of your ego. That's the highest place that the creator of this universe is trying to get us to reach. Because we have been enslaved for so many years to believe that we only were what people told us, our lower self. But there's a higher you. There's a higher calling. We hear about it, but we were never explained what this higher calling was. Oh man, I got out here and got into a conversation that I wasn't even thinking about. I just want to come out here and tell you, we were created right here from this beautiful earth. He scooped down and all the rocks and the gravel and the dirt and all the sand and everything, you see all this, crystals, gems, whatever, we all mixed up in here. He made us beautiful and wonderful in his sight. He created us, but that breath gave us life. That breath, when he breathed into the nostrils of man, he became that living soul. He became God consciousness. He became that God that he says over in Psalms 82, verse 6. You are God's little children and children of the Most High God. Psalms, I'm not making this up, people. Psalms 82 says, you are God, little children, and the children of the Most High God. He was letting us know that we are in him and he are in us, that we are all one. And everybody in this whole entire world, we all are one. We connected with one with everything. We connected with the trees, the animals, the plants, the birds, everything out here. We are connected to the rocks, the grass. We are all one. How can you separate us? He said, who can separate us from the love of our Creator God? Who can? Only thing that will and will be able to separate us is us holding on to our programming of the ego, holding on to those negative thoughts, holding on to those negative energies, those negative vibes, and believing all the lies and everything that you have been programmed into this world to believe. Believing in the matrix system. People, it's time to let go. He's calling us to a greater and higher self, to our greater and higher consciousness state of being. I don't know if you know about the 7 major chakras. got something, I got videos, plenty of videos on the 7 major chakras. And I'm not getting all to that, but we got to learn about the 7 major chakras. We got to learn about the Kundalini awakening. We got to learn about our spiritual ascension. We have to learn about our evolving and moving all the time and transcending to our higher and greater self. We got to learn all about this. This is information. Like I said, now I can't awaken you. Your brother or sister or anybody else around can awaken you. They can pass on information. But when that time comes, and that Bible said it's time to wake up out of our sleep. He was giving you signs then. He was giving you, the Bible gave us a whole lot of scenarios, a whole lot of parables. The Bible is coded with a lot of messages, like it was secret. But now he's beginning to reveal the Bible to me in a way now I'm truly understanding it than what I was taught when I was in my Christian faith. So people, I didn't come out here to tell you this. Let me tell you. Being out in nature, guys, it just opened me up to really pour out the real goddess in me. Like I said, we are gods and we are goddess. Now, I'm not telling y'all, put yourself on this platform where you are the great God that you are creating. No, you didn't do anything. You didn't create yourself. You didn't make anything. You are no more than what he has put in you. And you will not display or be any more than what you allow him for you to be. So sometimes we get prideful and we get all stuck up like we know it all. Like can't nobody teach us anything else. They be teaching us all the time. The Bible says that we are ever learning and growing into the knowledge of truth. So that means that ever learning, that means that I get to this place where I heard this and I've been taught this all my life. That is where it stopped. No, it's the ever. That means it continues to go on and on. You're constantly learning, but you have to open yourself up to new things, to new thoughts, to new ideals. You got to open yourself up to the divine creator of the universe himself. He created you. He created you out of darkness, and he brought you out into this marvelous light. Because when they first started in Genesis, everything was dark and void, and darkness was all across the face of the earth. There was no light. But when he appeared, he was the light. When he stepped into the planet, when he stepped onto the universe, he was already there. When he revealed himself, darkness had to go. And he spoke, and everything that he spoke came into existence. He said, let it be. So we got to start learning, let things be. We got to start learning, speaking things out of our mouth. The truth is in us, people. Go within you. You will find the answers to everything in your life. Your truth is in you. My truth is in me. Everybody has their own truth. Stop debating with people. Stop fighting with people. Stop putting on this debate thing where you gotta get around here and act like you know it all. You got all the answers. No, baby, you don't know it all. You ain't got all the answers. He is all knowing. I still didn't come out here to talk about that either. I come talk about the Emmaus Road. If you haven't heard about the Emmaus Road, that was over in Luke chapter 24, I think. Luke 24 verse 13. And it talks about the Emmaus Road. And I had an Emmaus experience back in, I think it was 2015. Now, I had started coming awaken to my greater and higher self. Now, not understanding all this, because it wasn't something that I had purpose to set out to do, because I couldn't set out to do anything that I didn't know about. I was never taught anything other than being in my Christian faith, being taught to believe and believing what I was taught in my seminary school, to go out there and you teach like this and you say it like this and you can't say it any other way. That was programming there still, people. But I can only speak what I was taught, what I was programmed to believe. But I had an Emmaus experience, not knowing what was happening in my life. But let me tell you right quick. In this Emmaus experience, like I said, Emmaus, that was when those disciples of what it was called Jesus, which we got to understand that Jesus was Christ consciousness. They were on the road to Emmaus, and this is supposed to be after the crucifixion of Jesus, our Christ consciousness. And so they were saddened and they were bowed down low because they had witnessed the crucifixion of Jesus. Was no longer there. So the disciples were walking to Emmaus, going off someplace, whatever. It was a journey. Same as when we go and we awaken, we have a spiritual awakening, a spiritual journey. So they were on this awakening. And this shows me that's your spiritual awakening. That is your spiritual journey, that you're about to experience something like you were never experienced. You're about to have a Kundalini awakening. And you can go search that Kundalini awakening. But these disciples on the road, and they were walking, they were bowed down low, and they was in mourning, and they were grieved because, like I said, they're Christ. He had just been crucified. But up came a man out of nowhere, and his face was not revealed, and he walked up on me and said, "Why are you so sad? Why are you looking with your head down?" And he said, "Haven't you heard that the Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that he had been crucified, that they had killed him and everything?" And he walked with them on that road. He walked with them. As he was walking with them, he was teaching them a lesson. He was teaching them about a spiritual awakening. He was teaching them about a higher and greater self that they never imagined. And at the time, you know, as they were walking, they weren't understanding. They were still bowed low, and they were still at that place. But they went on and made that journey to that place they were going. And when they got there, they all met with some other disciples in the room, and they were all mourning and crying instead of letting go. Because when we are going to a place of hurt or confusion or grieving, that means there got to be a better side of this. If I just get through this, if I just let go of that, and I know that he's waking me to something greater. But as they got in the room, the Christ consciousness, Christ appeared to them. Then they remember that conversation they had on the road to Emmaus. Then they said, "Didn't our hearts burn when he talked to us? Didn't our hearts burn? Didn't the revelation and then the knowledge that he was speaking to us, didn't it bring an enlightenment?" That was the spiritual awakening. Well, I had one of those, and I did not know what it was. And I went through this spiritual awakening. It was 3 days. I would drive to work in my same journey every day in the same path. The first day, I was in my car, with nobody on the road but me. I was in my car driving, and all of a sudden I heard this loud sound. Like, what is that? And I happened to look up. It's like I saw a big rock fall, just boom, right in front of me. Not literally fall, but I could see it. And it crashed right there in front of me. And I said, "Oh, what is that?" And I didn't get the revelation then. The next day, I was driving and going to work, not understand, okay, just okay. What is, and the same thing happened the second day. Right in the same location, people. Bam! And I'm like, what is this? I don't know what is going on. But the third day in a row, that happened again in the same place, and I'm just like, what is this? And I yelled out, and I heard the voice within me, the creator, what you call him, God. He said, "You are on the road to Emmaus. You are on that road to Emmaus." That was to be really the true beginning of my spiritual awakening. And I went back to my pastor, and I started asking him a whole lot of questions about different things in the Bible now that was beginning to did not make sense to what I was being taught. And he could not answer these questions. I went back to my pastor and I probed him. I said, "Tell me, explain to me about the Emmaus journey when they were walking down that Emmaus Road." He could not explain. "Tell me about this. Tell me about the spiritual awakening. Tell me about the kingdom of God. Explain all these things. Bring me some light." He shut down and could not speak to me. From that point on, that's when he took pastors, teachers, leaders, programming, everything the other Bible was teaching. He took them out of my way, and he put himself in that place. He said, "I am your teacher." And he began to teach me. He began to teach me who I was. He began to show me that I am the whole greater than I had ever been taught. I was greater than my own thoughts. I was greater than my events in my life. I was greater than all that. And he began to show me. I learned who I was. Guys, the road of Emmaus. I may do a teaching on that so I can bring you more understanding. Now, this is just my teaching now. This is me. This is my experiences. Guys, I tell you, I can only teach through my experiences. I can't tell you how to live your life. Only thing I can do is share my experiences. Because I don't want nobody out there getting me wrong. When I'm out there teaching, when I'm out there posting things or articles or whatever information, or even out there talking about my prayers or praying out there or whatever, guys, I'm only sharing my truths, my experiences. I've been on both sides of this. I've been on the side of the Christian faith, and I'm on the side of the spirituality. I'm understanding more who I am through my spirituality. I'm understanding more of myself through my God conscious state of being. That's me. I had to find my path. I had to find my journey. I had to find out who I was. I had to find out my purpose. I had to find out why he said he created me in his image and in his likeness. I had to understand why he breathed his breath of life into me, and I became God conscious. I had to understand that. Man couldn't teach me. Man could not instruct me. Only through what the knowledge that they understood and they had, and they've been passed down through the generations of what they've been taught. He took them away from me. Literally, he took them out of my life. He removed all them, everything. And I'm not putting myself saying I'm greater. No, I'm not. I just got to be me. I got to live my truths. And we all have to get to that place where we got to live our truths and got to stop worrying about what other people are doing with their life, how they are serving the things in their life, who are they serving as their God, whether they're preaching and teaching. That's their truth. Either you can go along and you can join up with them and listen to what they got to say. I'm not saying you got to be what they are or become what they are, but we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. You got to get some wisdom, get some knowledge, get a little bit of what they're saying. But then you got to remain faithful to who you are. Remain faithful to what you are believing. Remain faithful to your truth, that you know that the creator of this universe, we call God, he has placed within you, because he is the truth. He is the light. And ain't nothing ever going to change that. I don't care how far and how deep we get out there into all other things this world is teaching us, or how we were programmed to believe. Nothing can take the place of the divine creator of this universe. Let's walk a little bit. Let me show you nature. Now, a few minutes ago, the trees were all beautiful. I'm going to give you some beautiful scenery. Okay. A few minutes ago, we had some nice, beautiful wind blowing the trees and everything. But it's not no more. Hi. 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 He's cute. You want a picture? Huh? You want a picture? Huh? Here, look. Look at you. Oh, I caught you.